Okay, we're gonna do this as quickly as possible for me because I don't know how much storage room I have left on this. This is a collective reading for you, for all of us, I guess. Let's do the next 3 days, 72 hours from the time you're reading this, and prayers have already been said, and sacred space has been established, and this message coming through for you is for the greatest, highest, best possible outcome involved. What you need to know right now for the next 72 days to maneuver your life in a direction that brings about the best possible outcome for what's happening in your life. I don't know what's happening in your life. I'm in a completely different universe than you are. What's happening in the outside world has nothing to do with me. What's happening in my world has nothing to do with you. But as a collective, we are all dreaming a dream, and this message coming through will support you in creating a dream for yourself instead of a nightmare. So let's see what you need to know. Sage, the fairy guide, that one fell over, but it fell over off camera. So singer of intuition, gotcha, ecstasis, one more, or two, that's fine. Unity, and the singer of connection. Okay, that's cute. I like it. Bottom of the deck, the green woman, fairy who was kissed by pixies, Epona's wild daughter, and Solace. Oh, that's actually, wow. Okay. Okay. By the way, I'm going to try something different, and I'm not going to break down what each card means to you. I'm going to tell you what the story is telling you, okay? Because I've noticed I spend a lot of time breaking down each freaking word for you and each description, even in other videos, that it takes away from... It just takes too much time. So, the Sage. It's time that you look at something from a different point of view. You've been looking at things with one blind eye, and it's, you're seeing in one world with a skewed perception of one perspective. So you're seeing the world through the left eye, but you're seeing the inner world through the right eye. And you're not seeing both clearly. So you know how you need both eyes in the physical world to perceive the third density. There's Solace again. And the singer of the chalice. So there's, how you see the world in 3D and how you see the world, how you see the world in 3D, you need two eyes, depth perception. But when you're looking at the world with one eye, you don't see both. You only see one. So you're not getting the right view of the world in front of you, and you're not seeing the world inside of you either properly because you're not perceiving the external world, so you don't have a correlation between what you're viewing internally and externally. You've kind of blinded yourself to what's going on because it's too much information. Everything you're looking at is just blinding light with, all possibilities and outcomes and things growing in different directions, and you simply don't know what to do about it and how to handle it, which means you need to follow your intuition. But in order to follow your intuition, you need to be able to see inside of yourself properly, which means you got to spend time by yourself looking at your inner light. 1 + 9, I'll focus. 1 + 9 is 20, or 10, and it goes back to 1. And the next card is the fairy guide, which is 0. So you're, trying to find yourself, and you're going back to infinity and making things way too complicated. And then when you're trying to connect with your intuition, you keep remembering that you don't know what the heck you're doing. It all seems like an illusion, whatever's going on. And if you would go within yourself and really, really, really be honest and look at how the beard from here, this light, I don't know, God, the lighting is so terrible in here right now. It kind of makes an arrow pointing to the mouth. So in order to see the inner world and the outer world, and to speak the truth that you want to speak, you must be able to find the balance within yourself. To see with the inner eye, not just the third eye, but the heart too. How that energy goes from the heart to the mouth. These antlers and these crowns and thorns all coming and draining, like drawing the energy into the eye. It's almost like there's this light being emanated from here towards him or her. And really, just these three cards, the fairy guide, the intuition, and the sage, it's kind of like the hermit, the high priestess, and the fool. You already know which way to go. You have these established structures in society. You have this established sense of being within yourself. You know yourself in some way or another, but you keep going back to zero. Like you're moving forward and you go back to zero. You're moving forward and you go back to zero. And your reasoning is because you don't know what to do. You're going to leave it up to the divine to handle it for you. And the divine's like, I put you here for you to handle it. And you're like, but you're the divine, you should handle it. And in between that is stagnancy. No movement forward, nothing happening. Because you refuse to see. Again, see the eye? First it's this eye open, that eye blinded, because you've turned a blind eye to so much. Then you close the eye to see the outside world and to see with the inner, the inner world, but still you divert the energy to see the outside world again because you refuse to see the inner world. You're afraid of it. You're afraid of the monster you've become, or the people you've hurt, or what you could say, or what you could do, the way the world smells. You're even covering your nose and your mouth, and you're like, I don't want to deal with any of it. I'm just going to hide in here and, turn into a little pixie and avoid life. It's like the sage regressed into the state of a child because of the fear. 6 and 4 goes back to 10, goes back to 1. If you would open your eyes, both of them, the inner and outer, you would see that the entire world is conspiring to support you, to bring you into unity of who you truly are and what you truly are capable of. In order for that to happen, you have to be connected by forces that are unseen to you, unexpected allies and unexpected places. Through those connections, you create the illumination within yourself that burns away all of the external forces and internal forces that have been harming you and sabotaging you, and in doing so, you create room for the waters of life to flow into your cup. Do you have any idea how important these 5 cards by themselves are? Ecstasis is the union of male and female, brought together in divine, orgasmic joy, basically, within yourself. Doesn't even need anybody else. Unity is unity. It's the universe, and all the branches, and all the wisdom, and all the grace, and beauty, and hope, and faith, all of it. The spiral DNA helix that you would illuminate within yourself if you would just align the male and female within you. The need to push and pull, receive and give, destroy and create. In doing so and connecting these 2 parts of yourself, the male and the female, you create this Merkaba structure for yourself, which allows you to travel through your own reality as the light. And in order for that to function properly, you must be able to love yourself. Love is the fuel that helps you move through life. With an empty cup and denial of having it filled by the universe, you take away the power of light within yourself. You dim it and only rely on a little spark somewhere deep down in your chest, instead of allowing it to engulf your mind and rebirth you into who you are. When you deny that connection to yourself and to your source, you lose the connection to unity, to the universe, to the flowing of life. When you do that, you don't have ecstasy anymore. You get removed from that connection, and what you have left with is intuition. Some force attempting to communicate with you, and you blocking it off with a field that says, I don't want to see. I'd rather hide in the light than see in the dark. Honesty. The number goes down to 4. There's family, home, feminine, creation, two and two coming together. There's so much gentleness in you that you're afraid to lose. But that gentleness is going to be lost if you don't move forward in life. If you stay on that mushroom pad and you refuse to move forward to where you're seeing, you're not going to get there. 3 plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1 plus 3, 4. Be honest with yourself. You're miserable where you are, and you're miserable where you are not because of where you are, but because of the lack of honesty you're giving yourself. I'm in a tiny little apartment in the middle of Wisconsin where I don't know anybody really, other than just the neighbors in this building. I don't have a car. I don't have, a job. I don't know where to go around here. I've been in self-isolation for over a year. I've been afraid to move. And by being honest with myself, I can move forward in life, despite the fear, despite the chaos, to see the world inside and out, and for what it really is. And what it really is a world where everyone is conspiring to support you, to bring out the God and Goddess in you. But in order for them to do that, they have to be scary and change the direction of where you're going completely at any given turn. Just whichever way you're going, boom, now you're going the different way. Can you handle it? 4 plus 5 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 9 is 1. 1, 3, 9. Now you add 1, 3, 9 together. Yeah, 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 broken down is 4. Be honest with yourself. Wait, 3 plus 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 3, 4, 3, 9. So we got 2 3s, a 9, and a 1. 6, 10, goes back to 1, goes back to 1, goes to 9. So 9 plus 1 plus 1 is 11. If you can figure this out for yourself, if you can be brave enough to look within you, to move forward in life, even if the direction seems scary, to be able to know who you are and what you want and not allow other people to dictate what's happening in your future. You would then heal the worm tongue within you that keeps telling you you're not good enough or you're bad or evil or whatever. You would cause healing to that part of you. You yourself would somehow create, look at this, 5, 5, 10, 1, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4. Again, 1s and 4s and 3s, like all these numbers I keep repeating. The way you're interacting with the world has to change. The way you're interacting with yourself has to change. You must make what you've done better than what it was. So if you think you're doing something in life right now that you're great and in a good position, step up your game. Step it up. If you're meditating and you're like, I'm enlightened, sit your ass down and meditate some more. If you're like, I've created all these things and I've brought healing to the world, do it some more, but in a different way. You're like, the world's unhealable, it's chaotic, it's this and that, it's this and that. You're listening to this guy. Master that guy and heal it. If you're surrounded by people who are like, you shouldn't be with this person, you shouldn't be with that person, this person did this and this person did that, and they're so hideous and they're so ugly and they hurt you and you were hurt by them and they cheated on you and they stole from you, they're eating babies and they're shooting people in space and they're doing this and doing that, and like, okay, fuck off. I choose healing instead. I choose healing within myself, because no matter what you tell me about the outside world, it can always get worse and worse and worse because of my ability to create being influenced by the ability to harm. So I choose to remain in a state of being a font of healing